Hi everyone, it's KFK's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to take these ornaments. They came in a box of 40. I got these at Walmart last year. And I'm going to glue the tops on. I've done that already. And then I'm adding in some of these Dollar Tree ornaments. And I'm going to be adding them to this cone wreath form. This came from Dollar Tree. I know you've seen them there. This is the largest one that they carry. I'm not sure if they carry it in 2 or 3 different sizes during the holiday months. But this is the largest one they had last year. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to be adding ornaments. Now remember, I've already glued the tips of the ornaments on so that they won't come falling off at any time. And you can see I started by gluing the tip of my wreath form, that cone. And I just added, for this one, I took the top off of the ornament. So I had that open hole to slip the point of the cone in there. And I'm just adding a little extra glue to secure it. And that's how I'm going to start. And this one has that nice little point. It's one of those ornaments that comes to a point at the bottom. So the next thing I'm doing is adding a pipe cleaner. Just attaching it to the form. And then I'm going to start adding ornaments. I'm going to start with smaller ones at the bottom and work my way up to larger ones at the top. Had some glue stuck there on my hands. Alright, so this is just how it's going to go. I'm going to be adding ornament by ornament, one by one, and working my way around this wreath form. So first I'm trying to get one situated in here snugly. So I held it where I wanted it to be, and then I'm wrapping this pipe cleaner around a couple times. And then I take the next one, slide it through the opening of the ornament, and then wrap that pipe cleaner again around this wreath frame, or around this cone frame. And what I like about this frame, it's got I think it's 6 spindles going up and down. And then it's also got the one wrapping around diagonally. You can see that. So I had plenty of places to attach these ornaments. I just worked my way around one by one. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I try to alternate between red and gold as I'm working my way around here. And what I'm also going to do is when I finish making kind of a round like this, I may thread the zip tie up around one of those crossbars to work my way up to the next level so that I can start adding another round of ornaments. And that's how I just work my way from bottom to top slowly. And you can see each time I get an ornament on there, I kind of tighten it in. And then when I run out of pipe cleaner, I just pick up another one and twist them together. And that's what I'm about to do right here. Just twist the ends together, making sure it's nice and secure. And then I can just continue adding ornaments and working my way up. And I like this. I started with the pipe cleaners because they're a little thicker than wire. I have problems handling wire because it hurts my hands. The wire is so thin. But when I work with a pipe cleaner, it's thicker. I can grip it. And then I don't have this really, really long length of wire to work with. I can just do a little bit of work and then connect another pipe cleaner to continue my work. Easier for me. Alright, so here's an example where I'm just swirling that pipe cleaner around the wire on the cone so that I can make my way up to the second level to start adding my ornaments. So I'm going to just keep doing this over and over again, and I'm going to share with you as I progress so you can just kind of see how this goes. And already you can see I made it up to about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like the 5th round. And also what I did with this one, the first one I made, I started with smaller ornaments from Dollar Tree, and then I gradually got bigger ones, and then where I would have a gap, I would just fill in with a Dollar Tree ornament because they were smaller. The ones I had from Dollar Tree were smaller. When I did my second one, I just worked a little slower and took my time, And I just used the bigger ornaments. I didn't even need the Dollar Tree ones. I just had to take my time and position things so that I wouldn't have huge gaps. Now I do want some gaps between these ornaments because in the end I plan to put a string light in between these, not the ornaments, but down through the center of the cone. I'm going to try it that way first, to put lights down through the center so that the lights will kind of be peeking out from inside. And if it doesn't show up enough, then I may go ahead and just string them around on the outside. I'm not necessarily wanting to do that because I don't want the string to show. I might have some of those fairy lights where the cord is kind of clear. That would work. And that way I can get my lighting effect without the cord showing. Because there's plenty of space to kind of hide the lights up under these ornaments. There's plenty of gaps for me to wire it around the cone. So when I complete this project and actually hang it outside for the holidays, you'll be able to see it with the lights. The lights won't be shown in this video, but you'll see the completed project here in this video. So this project was inspired by a video done by, who was that? Kenya's Decor Corner. And I'll insert a picture here of her channel and the video that I watched. Oh my goodness. It was a store she walked through, had some incredible things. And when I saw this right here, I was like, I'm going to make that. And first I thought I would use a huge tomato cage, like the small tomato cage. And then I said, that's going to be humongous. And I said, I think I can work with this and it'll be the size I want. And when I finished it, it was perfect. By the time you add the ornaments, it gets, full enough that I loved it. So this is what I'm working with. It's going to hang from a shepherd's hook when I get it completed during our Christmas season. So if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a family member, please consider becoming one. And we are winding down now. I have the last few ornaments to add here to the top round. This was the easiest because I had a continuous wire to attach it to. So I just wrapped, and sometimes when I thought it might move a little bit, I might add a little touch of glue to help secure it, make sure the wire stayed right where I wrapped it. So I am finishing off here. And in a second, I'm going to be showing you what I have partially created. And that is this. I've got this huge, well, not huge, but huge to me. Took a lot of ornaments. And it's really an ornament Christmas tree, right? That's what you're thinking. Oh, all she made was a tree. But we're going to do something different now. So I want to make a huge bow, as big as I possibly can, without it covering that entire little tree we just made. So I started with 18, and I wanted 18 on both sides. So I did 36 inches and trimmed the ends at an angle, gathered it in the center, and placed it in my bow maker. Now I have 6 sections on that form, that cone form. So I want to have 6 pieces of ribbon that just hang down. And you're like, hang from what? Okay, we'll get there. That are going to hang like out from each section. So I'm doing 2 at a diagonal, and then I'm going to have 2. You can see what I did. I forgot my pipe cleaner and my zip tie, and now I'm going back and adding it. I don't know why, like I always say, well, I always forget. I'm getting a little better. At least I remember it this time. So I'm putting my my pipe cleaner in, because that's going to attach this bow to my creation. And where's my zip tie? I guess I decided to add that later. So what I'm doing now is just doing another 36 inches of my gold ribbon. This is wide ribbon. It's 2.5 inches wide. And I'm going to gather that in the center and add that to the pipe cleaner So now you can see I have 6 tails hanging out. When they go onto this cone, they will be added in sets of 2. Now I decided to add the zip tie. I don't know what I be thinking. What I be thinking sometimes when I'm making these bows. But anywho, I got the zip tie on there. Alright, now I'm going to make a really big bow with this red ribbon. I made mine nice and full because I do not have the super expensive ribbon. So I have to add quite a few loops to get the desired effect that I want. So first thing I'm doing again is 36 inches for 3 tails that will go the same direction as the gold ribbon. And now that I have that in place, the next thing I'm going to do is start my bow. Since I don't need another tail, I gathered it and added it into the bow maker upside down so I can start my first loop. These loops start at 8 inches, and I'm going to tell you the truth. When I finished this thing, I was like, oh my God, this bow is huge. It's going to be too big. I put it on, and you'll see how I do that later. When I put it on, I said, it's just humongous. It's overwhelming. It's it's overtaking what I put together here, and I walked away. I was frustrated. I walked away and I said, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And when I came back later, I was walking past my little workroom. Oh my God, it was like, wait a minute, that looks perfect. It's perfect. This is the perfect size. So sometimes you have to step away from a project you're working on, and if you're too close on it, sometimes it's just hard to see the complete picture. So what I'm doing is, now I told you I had 6 sections, and so I want start with 6 loops, 2, so I'll have 2, 2, and 2. Well, I'll have 6 loops for the 6 sections, and I'm doing 8 inches for each of these loops first, and you see how I did diagonally both ways, and then I'm going straight across. So this one right here is going to give me number 6 at my 8 inches. Now what I'm thinking is, as I'm doing this cone shaped ornament decor that I've made is going to hang, and so I want to have enough loops that'll fit in between those chains when it's hanging. Now I'm doing 7 inches, and I'm going to do, I think I did 6 again, 3 on each side. And so what I was saying is I'm going to hang it with the chains. The chains I use are the flower pot hangers from Dollar Tree. I've been sharing different lantern-like lightings that I've been making for outdoors since the spring, I believe. And I've been using that same little Dollar Tree 3-chain hook that they use to hang up flower pots. I've been using that to hang these fixtures. So if you haven't seen that before, you'll see that in a minute. Okay, so again, these loops now are 7 inches. If you look to the left of the screen, you can see how it comes in about, that top loop comes in about 1 inch from that bottom one. And I believe I'm about to work on the last one again, bringing it 7 inches, gathering it, adding it to my bow maker, and then moving that loop up to the top there. So I believe I have 3. This is the first time I have worked with this velvet ribbon. It is thick when it comes to getting it in the bow making. You see how tall it's getting already right there in the center? This is one time I wished I had used that bow maker to the side there, the Monroe bow maker. Next time I work with velvet ribbon, I will definitely be working with that bow maker, because the space between these little dowels, or the little poles there in the center of your bow maker, the spacing on her bow maker is a little bit wider, and you could just use, I could have used that little bit of extra space to work with this thick ribbon. Alright, so I've got 6 at 8 inches, 6 loops at 7 inches, and then I decided to make a jump. So I came into 4 inches, and the reason I did that again is because it's going to be hanging from a chain, and you know, as a that chain, when you're holding a flower pot, those 3 chains, as it comes up in a triangle shape, so it's getting narrower and narrower. And so I'm not going to have that much space as I go up. So I decided to jump back to 4 inches from 7, I'm sorry, that's not right. 8 inches first, 7 inches next. So this is 5 inches. This is a 5-inch loop. And for the 5-inch loop, I did 2 on both sides. Again, I'm not going to have as much space to move around. Let me say that again correctly. Started with 8-inch loops. I did 6. Then I did 7-inch loops. I made 6 of those, 3 on each side again. And now I'm at 5-inch loops. And I'm only going to do 2 on each side. And I believe I'll just come in again to do a 4-inch loop. And I'm only going to do 1 on each side. And then I'm making a loop for the very top. So I make that final loop by kind of deciding how long I needed it to be, folding it under, because Kay does not like raw edges. So I folded it under, and then I'm going to bring it around so it won't get caught in my zip tie, and place it through the center of the bow maker so that when I do zip tie it up, the bottom of that loop will get caught in my zip tie. So I am finagling that little zip tie now. I have brought it up, I have brought it together, and you see how I went under that loop at the top, but it has caught the bottom of that loop. And I pulled it kind of snug. This bow again is so thick, so tall. I had the hardest time holding it in a straight stack while I was pulling that zip tie together. If anybody knows the secret to that, let me know. What I'm doing now is trying to make sure, before you tighten everything, you kind of want things where they belong. So I want these those 2 wider loops, the 8 and 7 inches, to be at the top and bottom, because it's going to get divided into 3 sections in between the chains on my huge ornament I'm making. I guess I'll call it that. So I have swung the zip tie around to the back, and I'm sorry I went off screen, and I am trying to pull it snugly without that stack collapsing. I'm trying to hold it straight. I run my fingers up and down each side of the stack, and I am slowly pulling the zip tie tight. Because this was so thick and so tall, once I got it together, I actually went back and added a second zip tie. This is where I'm pushing that stack back and forth because it was trying to collapse on me. I went back and added a second zip tie just to be secure. See, I just pulled one out, putting that around it now. And then I will also have my pipe cleaner, which I will be using to attach it to this huge ornament. Alright, so now that I've got that second one on there and I feel better, I've used that zip tie tool to tighten it completely. And this is what my bow is looking like thus far. I am going to, one last chance to pull things where I want it. And like I said, when I get that chain on the ornament, I will be adding 2 tails between each chain. I will be adding 2 of the 8-inch and 2 of the 7-inch loops between each chain, and then those 5-inch and 4-inch loops will kind of be sitting in between the chains. They'll be just kind of sitting up. You'll see that in a minute when we get to the end of this project. I tried to share putting it on, didn't work. Camera angles was terrible, but here it is. This is what I made. I will go back later and adding some more florals and maybe a few ornaments in my bow, but I just don't have them yet. I realized I don't have anything that works right. So this is what I put together. I'm proud of myself. It took a while, let me tell you, putting all those ornaments on there, but I'm loving it. I can't wait until I can hang it outside. All right, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.